Hey, Inspired Tribe. Welcome to the Inspired Livestream, number 167. Can you believe it? We've been at this for a while. We're excited that you're here. Thank you for joining us. It is beeping. It is bleeping. It is Thursday, May 27th, 2021, WON. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. My name is Jean Nolan. This is Kristin Nolan. And we are the founders of the Inspired Channel and the Inspired Tribe. And we're here to help people. It's that easy, right? To inspire, to help, and to authenticate. What about that word? Authenticity. And today, people are jumping on and they're joining us in the live stream. Today, we will talk about the Holy Grail. And we'll share a story that was very inspiring and really, truly, almost shocking to us. And we'll dive a little bit into that topic. And it totally, absolutely, 100% concerns you. Whoever you are watching right now, this is for you. This is completely open for any audience. We also want to say, before we dive into today's topic, first of all, welcome Agnieszka and Black Sky. You've already tuned in. We also wanted to let you know that we're very grateful for those of you who have signed up to become practice clients for our junior coaches in the Inspired Coaching Academy. As some or most of you know, Kristin and I are teaching the Inspired Coaching Academy this year, and we have wonderful junior coaches that are always looking for practice clients as they're learning. And so many of you have sent us emails, and we've already connected them with our junior coaches, and they're already in the process of working together.
Maybe you want to tell them a little bit about, what they do there and what problems people have, so that, maybe people find out more about it. And
sounds like a good idea. Yeah. So what they're becoming is coaches, and as broad as possible, it's really life coaches. And people from all walks of life have all kinds of problems. That's the human condition right now. And so what our coaches are learning to do, if you become their practice client, is to first, get to know you and to understand where you're coming from, what you're about, what your past was like, what your beliefs and ideas are, what your vision is. And that's usually a good conversation first. And then when they're identifying what it is that you desire, and they identify what it is that's holding you back, that's where the work begins. And they have wonderful practices and tools and processes and techniques to do this in a empowered way, and in a way that's, it's also a fun process. It's not always fun, but it's fun a lot of times. And so that's what they're doing in a nutshell. And as I said, they're looking for practice clients. Right now, it's a really good time. You're kind of getting in on the ground level here because it's free of charge. You can, of course, contribute, but it's free of charge as they're still practicing. And so if you feel like there's something in your life you desire, you want to go deeper on something, you feel like it's a good time for a shift in your life, then send us an email to 365inspiredliving@gmail.com. We'll connect you with our junior coaches. Now, of course, Kristin and I are available also for regular one-on-one coachings and the courses and so forth. So yeah, thank you so much for being here again. Welcome. And we'll dive into today's topic. I want to share a story with you guys. That's from back in Austria. And as some of you know, Kristin and I together with a whole group of wonderful beings all across Austria, we used to have these events, seminars, and speaking engagements, and very eye-opening things and transformational things. And it would range anywhere from sometimes in a smaller group, 30, 40 people, to sometimes 100, 150 people. And there was this guy who would come to some of those seminars and speaking engagements, and he'd usually sit in the back, and we knew who he was. We'd met him kind of through a friend of a friend, if you will. Didn't really know that much about him at that time, other than he was a corporate guy, making a lot of money working for a big multinational corporation, driving around in a really fancy car. And he would attend our seminars, sit in the back, not say much, just be present. And we eventually got to know his family better, and then his mom and sister and whatnot. But I remember one day, must have been probably 6 months after his first seminar or so, he walked up to me after one of those speaking engagements, and he said, you know, I've been listening to you guys. I've been doing my own research. I've really been inspired by what you were doing and saying. And I just wanted you to know that I quit my job, that I had, you know, I worked for this company for many years. I made a lot of money. I quit my job. I told them I couldn't do it anymore. I realized I was part of a system that I don't want to support. I paid off my house. I'm becoming completely self-sufficient. You know, I'm growing food, and I'm having chickens, and I'm connecting with my community. I put solar panels on the roof. I got generators. I'm pretty much whatever happens, I'm good. I'm really connecting on a deeper level with the love of my life. I'm helping people around me. And I'm just doing it because I want to. I don't charge you money for it. It's not a business. I'm just helping people. And I wanted you guys to know that it all started when I came here and I heard you speak about the things you speak about. And I heard you explain the things that you explain. And over the years, we've had many of those transformational moments, but this was one that particularly stood out because we've seen gradual change many times where people do a little bit here and a little bit there. But this guy, a complete go-getter too, completely self-made, complete go-getter, literally almost on the spot, changed his life completely. His complete lifestyle, his priorities, his habits, everything. And a couple of months later, at that time, we lived in a log house, and we had this beautiful tiled stove that was basically the heating for the whole house. You know, that's kind of the old and proven approach, and it was at the center of the house. And in wintertime, you just have to keep feeding wood into it and burn it. And so during summer and fall, we had to get the wood ready and make sure that we had enough firewood for the season and whatnot. And I remember one day I invited him to come up to chop some wood with me and cut it up and get it ready for the winter. And because he wasn't in his corporate job anymore, and because he was the master of his time and his, whatever he did, he came up, and all we did was we cut up some wood and we chopped it and we talked and we spent the whole day out in nature, and then we shared a meal together that Kristin had prepared in the meantime. And that's now probably some 7-8 years ago. And to this day, every time we speak, by 5 minutes into the conversation, he says that was one of the best days of my life. Just out there in nature, chopping wood and being one with the elements and being completely aligned with all of this. And it's a highlight of his life. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? Such a beautiful but simple thing, such a powerful experience. And it was a wonderful day. I remember it. It's a great memory for me too. But what the reason is why I'm telling this story is he had found the Holy Grail. And over the centuries, scientists and researchers and religious scholars have researched and hunted down the Holy Grail, and they have wondered what it is. Is it the bloodline of Jesus? Is it some mystical thing, some mystical rock or stone, or is it some powerful wand that when you find it, when you see it, when you get it, it will change your life? And this guy had found the Holy Grail, and he had done a lot of research, learned a lot of things, very intelligent man, very wise guy too. And he had realized, because he was one of those hunters hunting for the Holy Grail, the more and more, the looking, the find, what's the purpose of this all? And he had found this full circle experience that led him right back to him. It was all inside of him all along, which you can only realize when you actually go and search for it. When you start looking for it, you will realize that's where the Holy Grail really leads to. And so completely shocked his family, shocked his children, shocked his ex-wife, shocked everyone by what he did. But it was with such conviction, such a knowing that this was the right thing to do, that he literally changed everything in his life. And that is the Holy Grail to everything that we all desire. And this is something that we cannot say often enough, and find more and more creative ways to express this. Everything that you really desire starts here. And what does that mean? What this guy did is, and that was the short version of the story, what this guy did is he literally went through every aspect of his life, whether that was personal, professional, financial, health, everything. And he questioned everything. The reason why he questioned everything is because when he was confronted with a new vision, when he was hearing something that he hadn't heard before, and he began to see things for what they are and not what he believed they were, something was ignited inside of him, and he couldn't let it go anymore. And so he went and he questioned every aspect of his reality and asked himself, why am I doing it this way? Why am I believing what I'm believing? Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why am I saying what I'm saying? And you have to literally do this in your own life, because what the thing that you're really looking for only presents itself to you is when you remove all of the false beliefs and stories and habits and thoughts that are inside of you. And for so many of those, you're not even responsible. As we always say, you were too young, and you were a child. You were a little child when you soaked all of this up. But while you were not responsible for a lot of those things, you are responsible for the change. And this change happens when you become willing to become somebody new. And that's the biggest hurdle for most people, is that they want a different reality. They want a different life, but they cling to their comfort and to what they know with everything they got. And they're willing to change everything on the outside, and it does not work. Because the energy, the thoughts, the habits, the beliefs, the whole physiology is still the same. And so you can sell your house, quit your job, get rid of your spouse. What I mean by that is, end the relationship. Move halfway across the world. Buy a new house, get a new spouse, a new car, a new job. And eventually, 6 months in or so, you're going to find yourself in the same place that you were before, even though you've changed everything on the outside, because it doesn't work that way. It works the other way around. And so it isn't enough to keep showing up and watching others do it. It isn't enough to read about it. It isn't enough to listen to how people do it. You have to actually do it. What that means is you have to actually step into a. And how you do that is by first creating a vision of what that might look like. And you have to understand that you are connected to the same stream of energy that you have been. And if your habits remain the same, and if what you do remains the same, and if where you go remains the same, if what you consume remains the same, your life cannot change. You cannot create a different outcome by doing, believing, saying, thinking the same things. And this requires a great amount of energy in the beginning to create that shift. Because you have to remember that you have been doing the old stuff for such a long time that a lot of energy and momentum was built up there. So for the new to come about, it really requires your dedication. You need to be willing to change pretty much everything. You need to be willing to go through your day from morning to evening and literally question every aspect of your reality and ask yourself, is this still aligned with my vision? Do I still desire to do that? And we mean everything. The toothpaste you use, the toothbrush you use, the water that you use, the water that you drink, the shampoo, the clothes that you wear, everything, all of those things are questions you have to ask yourself. And while these are still on the outside, you will begin to get new answers. Because these things reflect what you think on the inside. If you don't care about what you put on your body, if you don't care about what you eat, if you don't care about what you consume, then you really have not a high regard for yourself. You don't believe in your self-worth because you just use any old thing. And that will tell you a lot about that too. And you have to know that in the world that you live in this system, the world wants you to believe things that benefit the world, not you. And the main concept here is that you are a victim of your circumstances, of your upbringing, and of your genes. What the world is trying to tell you is that really there's not much you can do about it, but you can always buy products and services from other people that might treat the condition that you have, but not change or heal it. The world wants you to believe that you have a set of genes that was passed on from generation to generation, and what happens to you is simply a product of those genes, and there's nothing you can do about it. And we're here to tell you that that's the biggest pile of shit that's ever been told to human beings on this planet. Because the truth is that while you have these traits, there is so much more potential in your genes, and what genes are activated throughout your life and what potentials are activated and what potentials aren't, that is a product of all the choices that you make in your life, a product of how you live, of what you believe, of what you do with your life, of what you put into your mind and body and spirit. And so through history, this is proven over and over again. This is not a new thought. This is just the deviation from the thought that was dominating society for the past few hundred years. But it's not a new thought. It's that you really are the creator of your own reality. But the thing is, as much as we love that you show up and keep showing up and keep listening, we want you to know that we cannot do it for you. No amount of words that I say here, no amount of words that we speak will create the change within you. However, guidance can. But first and foremost, it's your decision to do that. It's your decision that the desire for the change that you want in your life, for the desire for what you really desire, is bigger than the comfort of that which you already know. Because when you start that journey, you're going to step into the unknown. There is no telling of how this will come about once you step into the unknown. Nobody knows it until you experience it. But everything that you desire comes from the unknown, or you wouldn't desire it because it would be something that you already do know. And that's the hurdle. That's the biggest hurdle, because it is uncomfortable. That kind of change, radical change, and radical means root change, at the root of things, that's uncomfortable because it's unknown. And humans, almost all humans, fear the unknown. That's why they usually first reject the unknown before they even look at it, because it's something they've never seen before. So there's almost a natural instinct to push it away and say, oh my God, it might be dangerous. But everything that you really desire is on the other side of fear. is on the other side of that comfort, is on the other side of the known. And this guy that we talked about earlier, he stepped into the unknown big time. Totally unaccepted in that world that he lived in at that time. Nobody understood it. His boss didn't, his colleagues didn't. Everyone thought he was thrown away, you know, what 99% of society would kill for. But with such conviction and knowing, he began to change his life one area, and he did it fast, actually. And he really went through all of those things. What am I eating? Why am I eating this? Why am I going to the doctor? Why am I taking these pills? You know, why am I drinking this? Why am I watching this? Why am I believing this? What is my source of news? All of those things, and one thing leads to another. And you have to understand one thing. That kind of radical change only happens when you question everything. And why not? Why not? Here's the thing. If you're really happy, if you're really excited about your life, if you love what you're living, if you actually can't wait to get up in the morning, if you love that, then you are already living it. Then this is definitely not for you. But if you're not, then this is for you. Because we can tell you one thing that we don't do, Kristin and I don't do, is compromises. We don't live compromises. We don't believe in compromises. I could care less about compromises. If someone says, well, you have to make a compromise, then no. I'm either doing it all the way or I'm not doing it at all, but there will be no compromise in my life. Just because I don't enjoy compromises, it means I'm settling for less, and I'm never settling for less. I never settle for less than what I know in here is my purpose, my destiny, my desire. That's never going to happen. You shouldn't either. You shouldn't either. We are only when we move into that space, we will once again create something harmonious and beautiful on this planet on a grand scale. If we keep living in these old belief systems, these big shifts won't happen in the way that we want them to. But that is something, the showing up, and this is something that so often it is that it becomes more important than anything else. If you desire to have a healthy, strong, natural, energized body, physical experience, you cannot hit the barbecue joint 3 times a week. You cannot go to McDonald's and expect to create that kind of body. You cannot live off junk food and highly processed foods and all of that if you desire that kind of body. Both things don't work at the same time. So you have a choice to make. Going with what you already know, or is the change and the knowing that something so much better is on the horizon is stronger. That's what's going to pull you out of bed in the morning. That's what's going to make you get up earlier. That's what's going to make you want to meditate in the morning, make you want to go out in nature, make you want to connect with God first thing and receive the guidance, make you want to do all those things. It's to have that vision and to not settle for less than that vision. And we can tell you that temporary comfort never equals long-lasting fulfillment. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. And it is a showing up. It is a true decision-making, and you have to make that decision over and over and over and over and over again until you become it, until you don't remember what it was like to live in another decision, until you don't remember what it was like to live your old life. You have to decide so often to be an abundant being. You have to decide so often to choose every day to go out and look for abundance in your life. You have to decide to see the abundance everywhere, in every being, in every tree, in every animal, in every human being, everywhere you go, that you cannot breathe, think, feel anything but abundance. That's when you are abundant, and that's the moment. And when you are abundant, you don't remember what lack feels like anymore. You have a distant memory of that. When you desire to be fit and healthy, it's the same thing. You go out, look for health in everything that you see. Look for the beautiful blossoming trees. Look for the health in sparkling eyes of a child. Look for health everywhere. Feel it, breathe it, taste it, touch it, smell it, everything until you become health, pure health. That's what you are until you are in that natural state. And you don't remember what it feels like anymore to feel unhealthy. But those are decisions. That's the Holy Grail. That's really the Holy Grail. And how good it can get is really up to you. It's not up to the universe. The universe, God, source, does not create that for you. It's a co-creative experience. What that means is there's a free will in you and a free will to live up to your purpose. And then you work with these universal energies. But you sitting on the couch and telling the universe, you take care of everything, I'm just going to do what I've been doing, is not going to work. Because if you do what you've been doing, guess what? You're going to get what you've been getting. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Nothing in the world was ever changed by doing the same thing that you've been doing. But everything can change when you make new decisions, starting by taking a different route. How many times can you take the same route to the same place? Does it really matter if it's half a mile longer to the grocery store? Does it really matter? Does it really always have to be down the same road? Because that's representative of the other things in your life. Do you really have to always buy the same spread that you're going to put in your toast? Does it have to be the same brand? Do you have to go to the same places to eat? Do you have to eat the same things? Do you have to talk to the same people even when you don't enjoy it anymore? Do you have to be in the habit of maxing out your credit card and then slowly paying it off? Do you have to do things the same way? Is there somebody putting your gun to your head? There's most likely nobody doing that. So begin by making new decisions, and that means to actually do something new. It won't be enough to keep coming here. No amount of inspirational videos will create that change for you. Will it help you create momentum? Every day. Will it help you to get in the spirit? Every day. But then what you do with it, that's up to you. And if you do it, nothing is the limit. Not even the sky is the limit. Nothing is the limit. Nothing is the limit. And that's the Holy Grail. And those who've done it, those who've, we see people do this. We see people do this. Literally change their lives completely. And then things really do change. And that's how it is, because you create a whole new energy. But it's up to you. And if anyone else tells you it's not that way, they don't have your best interest at heart. If you come to work with us, if you come to work with our junior coaches, they're not magicians. They will not magically wave their wand and change your life. You'll do that. They'll just show you how. We'll just show you how. We'll just show you what the techniques and the steps and the possibilities are. And we'll show you how you can show yourself, because that's most important. We don't want you to be here and do this and be dependent on anyone else for the rest of your life. We want to give you tools so that you, whatever comes your way, are equipped. That's the purpose of this. The world hasn't caught up with that idea yet. It's still very much caught up in the thinking that as long as it can sell you something that you're going to be dependent on, it's all good. But that old model, that solutions come from outside of you, that you need to wait until the solution presents itself to you on the outside, and that only when that promotion will come, you will finally be able to feel abundant or do whatever you desire to do. That old model is completely obsolete. It's completely coming out of style. Because millions of people are now discovering the Holy Grail, and they're proving that it's possible. You know how many people are beginning to you know, create those funny little videos where they're sitting with their laptops on the beach. They're saying, you know, I used to work 9 to 5 and I used to really hate my job and I was depressed and overweight and all those things. And now here I am on the beach of somewhere in Costa Rica. And, you know, I spend like 1 or 2 hours on my laptop every day. I bring value to people and I make a really fantastic living. Well, that's just one of a gazillion or possibilities or opportunities. It doesn't have to be that, but that's just one example. All of that begins here and here. It has to become a possibility inside of you first. It has to become a vision. And then out of that vision, inspired action. And first and foremost, you need to change your habits, your beliefs, and your physiology. And that means your biochemistry. That's what needs to change. That's what you do every day when you show up. Kristin and I right now, we're experimenting with a new meditation and a very small group with us, our membership group that we've invited. It's all about changing that chemistry every day until that chemistry becomes your new normal. That's what it is, because your body is used to the things from the past, used to the old habits. It reacts. It now is not just a reactor to your mind. It now is the mind. It runs you. You don't run it. How do you know if your body runs you? It's when you do things that you really don't want to do, but you feel like you have to satisfy a craving. That's how this feels. It's when you can't go past 9 o'clock in the morning without having a cup of coffee because you need it. It's when you feel like you're not relaxing when you don't turn on a TV at 7 p.m. and watch a show. It's when you don't feel like you can really wind down unless you have 1 or 2 glasses of wine. That's when your body runs you instead of you running your body. It's when going to a fast food restaurant and having that triple cheeseburger equals reward for something. It's when you go through the gym and you've been really good. You've been doing it for 5 days and now it's a weekend. You can eat and you can drink whatever you want because it's a reward. That is still not overcoming the body mind. And that's what you need to do. The thing is, as an investment, not monetarily speaking right now, it's as a time investment, it is such a short period of time compared to your lifespan where this is a little uncomfortable and sometimes a little hard and a little challenging. It does in no way compare to the time span of joy and excitement and fulfillment and happiness and a really, really great life that you're going to create with it. So yeah, sometimes it's really worth to climb up to the peak of the mountain for that unique view. Sometimes that climb, 3-4 hours, is so worth it because of that view, that feeling, that memory that you're going to hold, that feeling of being on the top of the world and having accomplished it is so worth it. And so that's the key. That's the Holy Grail. With inspiration, you're really inspired. This change feels actually exciting. Very exciting. But it's up to you. Watching videos, reading books, it's not enough. You actually got to do the things that are there, that are presented to you, the meditations, the processes, the inner work, the catching yourself in the old habits and shifting on the spot has to become more important. There's not a joke. We tell people you could be at your office, you could be at work, and you feel something creeping up. Well, go to the restroom and do a 5-minute breathing exercise. You're going to shift the momentum immediately. You're going to shift the momentum immediately, and you're going to change it. And when you're in that period of transitioning into this new thing, of transforming, that's what you're going to have to do. Because there's a body clock ticking, and it is used to the same things at the same time, and you need to break that pattern. That's it. But when you do that for 60, 90 days, sometimes it happens on the fly, but let's say 60 to 90 days. That's not really long. That's 3 months. It's 2 to 3 months. If you do that, amazing changes happen. Amazing changes. And you become a new you. That's the Holy Grail. Inspired Tribe. That's the Holy Grail. And that's when you put all that wisdom that you have picked up on the law of attraction, and that you have picked up on alignment, and that you've picked up on vibration and frequency. That's when you put it into practical terms. Because all of this that you have learned through watching many videos, it's absolutely accurate. What's not accurate is making the most comfortable story out of it because it fits your current belief system. That's not accurate. The things that you make up around it, just because you want to stay comfortable, just because, guess what? Seeking alignment, connection, balance, in the beginning, if this is not a state you're used to, it's work. It requires real effort because you have to overcome the habits and that which you're used to. That's the point that people don't want to hear. And that's why they buy 20 law of attraction books, not one. Although pretty much everyone gets the basics right because it's not hard. But then you don't have to worry about that anymore. Then what your work is to become that which you desire to be. That's your work, not to figure out how to manipulate the law of attraction, which you cannot manipulate no matter what you do. It's just a force that functions in a lawful, truly lawful way. So once you understand it's there, that's good. Wonderful. Now let that thought go. Now work on becoming a resonator with that which you desire, and that is to become like that which you want. It's that simple. You have to become it. You have to become it. And then you're going to be you're going to be that overflowing cup. Because the more you become like that which you desire in your life, the more of that which you desire in your life comes to you. It truly is that way. It truly is that way. But the part that nobody wants to hear is you have to become that first. And that means you have to change yourself. Change your beliefs, change your habits, change your actions, change your thoughts, change your feelings. Doesn't mean change your hair, change your clothes necessarily at first. Those are still external things. Those usually come with it. It's just you're attracted to new things, but it begins inside of you. That's honest, authentic, real work. But my God, does it bring freedom to your life? Does it bring joy to your life? Does it bring expansion into your life? My God, what you can't even dream of the possibilities yet. And then what you thought would be a really, really cool thing, if you could only do this for one weekend, you'll do it for a month. And if you could only go and experience this, well, you'll go and experience as much of it as you want. Because it'll find you. It will invite you. It will give itself to you. We know you can feel these words. Now, what are you going to do about it? Answer that question for yourself now and then do it today, not tomorrow. Don't put it off just, another day and another day next month. Summer's not a good time. Fall is better. The crap we come up with. Make one step today. One step, not 10. One step in a new direction. One step today, one step tomorrow, one step on Saturday. It's already 3 steps in a new direction. What have you just done? You've just started walking down a new road. Once you're 10 steps in, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to go back to where you were. All that effort to just go back to the same place that you didn't like anyway. See how that works? Redirect your energy. Transmute it. Finally become who you really want to be. And stop whining about the rest. Inspired Tribe, thank you for being with us. This was it from us. For this week, we'll be here again on Monday, 2 p.m. Central. We love you all. check out. We put a link up there. There's new designs coming up, and we're gonna do something cool, right? You said for Memorial Day. Can we announce it? Friday, tomorrow. I think it's gonna be a 24-hour thing, maybe 48. But which one is it?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided.
So tomorrow, if you come back, Kristin and I said, you know what? We want our tribe to wear their inspiration. So we're gonna do something cool Friday, either 24. So tomorrow, either 24 or 48 hours. Come back to the Facebook page or to the YouTube channel community page, and we'll do a 40% off for all the Inspired Tribe merch in the merch store. And this has been people that have given this as a gift to others. Always such a great reaction. People love wearing that stuff and love seeing it in the mirror, and it's just beautiful. So if you feel like it, check out our merch store. Maybe, you know, pick out the stuff that you want today, put it in the cart, and then come back tomorrow. And once we post the code, you'll get 40% off. That's almost half off. So it's pretty cool. So Tribesters, we love you all. We'll see you on Monday. Please hit the like button and take that first step today. Is now. What you're waiting for now. What you're waiting for now. We love you all. Be abundantly blessed.